80%. Wow.
80% in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just refocusing on the people. So that's why I believe the people, process, and system. Here I see that many top managers, very often, they have misconception of their business. It's about the people. They will provide time for the people.
You're tuned to KAIZENTalk, where we delve into the transformative impact of Kaizen philosophy on global businesses. Join us as we explore stories of innovation and continuous improvement that drive lasting successes across industries. I'm your host, Mr. Ferry, Managing Director of Kaizen Institute Singapore. Today, we have a very special episode where we deep dive into the synergy between internal CI team and also consultants with someone with extensive experience in operations and business transformation, Pak Eko Sugiarto. Pak, welcome to the KAIZENTalk.
Thank you.
So Pak Eko has over 34 years of experience in industry, leading major improvement initiative, optimizing processes, and also driving change management in a lot of organizations. He has worked in multiple MNCs, and also from my understanding from Pak Eko, he also has worked overseas. So Pak Eko, it's a great honor to have you here. Thank you for taking time out. Before we dive into today's discussion, could you share with us a bit about your background, and especially in operational excellence and continuous improvement?
Okay. First, thank you, Ferry. I'm very honored to join your podcast. Well, okay, my name is Eko Sugiarto. I've been spent 34 years plus in the industry, FMCG, food and beverage industry. For the last 3 years, for the first time after 30 years, I joined the local company, which is also working for the food and beverage. It's a different culture, you know. You're coming from the multinational culture, and now it's local. It's different culture. It's very challenging. But I just put my focus on how to help the manufacturing side to improve. I just focus on the basics, industrial service, and then also, of course, reliability and also performance. It's just quite a challenge, I would say, you know. It's but at the end is with the team, is try hard. Okay, we able to improve OEE. You know, it's just quite substantial, and then also, of course, at the end of the money. And then I think it's just about 57 billion in 3 years. That I feel great. Even though I believe that many more that we can do. Now, back to my earliest career. During the first 30 years, in my career, I worked for Nestlé. 27 years in Nestlé Indonesia, and then later I moved to Singapore. First in the Nestlé, I worked mainly in the 3 areas. As a supply chain, and then it's operation excellence and factory operations. Let me start with the supply chain. The supply chain is basically a corporate role function, which I started in 1999. This is by establishing a new unit called this metro planning for the corporate. The main mission is to arrange or to schedule all this material requirement, imported, local, to fulfill requirement of all these factories in Indonesia. To me, this is quite too much. It is should be, this is operational. But I have something reserved on that one. Then after that, after 1 year, I was assigned to lead the supply planning. Now, the first is, during the material planning is material, and now supply planning is the product. And then it's okay, both from all these local factories and also for import. During this time, I come to my memory the first time that, okay, the material planning, I integrated all into one planning. Because at the time we have a 3 planning function. First is demand planning, supply planning, and material planning. I combine all from the demand and supply becoming demand and supply planning in one unit, and the material planning I give to the factory. So by having this, it's a big transformation at the time, But finally, we managed this smoothly. Then the company gained the fastest decision making, a better forecast accuracy, because in the demand and supply planning, one planner is also left side talking about demand, and the right side is talking supply. So they accountable for the whole chain. So this is big. Now, this is the supply chain, demand and supply chain. And in this area also, I spent about 2 years to lead the logistics. At that time, we call it as warehouse and transport. So when we talk about the name, warehouse and transport, then the focus is only warehouse efficiency, transport efficiency. We have at that time 4 DCs and large number of transporters. So focus on that one. Then I said this is not really, how you call it, should not be what we want to do this. So we refocus this from the purely warehouse and transport, then it's move into the distribution network, because there is the money. This is the core of expertise of the company to deliver all good throughout the Indonesia. So this is a big, I would say, with the big debate at that time, but finally we make it. And then, okay, go there. Then when we focus on this now, it's a distribution network, then you think about the distribution network, distribution, how call it this, lane. Say, for example, from Jakarta to Riau, you can go to Medan, you can this, you can that. So by having this, you have a flexibility to explore all the transport mode as well as distribution mode. So whether you go this and then you maximize, say for example, now if you go to Papua, you can go here, Surabaya to Papua directly, but that takes 3 months, or you combine with the others and make consolidation. You can do this with the third party. So this is all that we start focusing on this one. The result, the company enjoys very flexible, very fast distribution mode, as well as it's less cost. Now, this in supply chain. And then I also spent about almost 3 years in the operation excellence.
Okay.
Yeah, this operation excellence, the mission very simple is actually, it's drive the continuous improvement program in all of factories, as well as leverage the best practices wherever you get it to this to improve all the performance. This it's very challenging. In the same time, it's very stressful. In Nestlé, you are not to decide how much money, how much a cost reduction you will deliver. No, it's dictated already. So you get that you have to able to reduce by 2% the way you tell us. The support you need, you tell us. So this is very, very challenging, but in the same time, it's very exciting. So at that time, this is a role of the consolidation, driving all this one. And during my tenures in this operation performance, the Nestlé launched a new transformation called the NCA. The NCA is very, very big. You know, the purpose is improving the operation efficiencies and performance, and they drive globally. Because of my function, then I'm the one who lead this transition. But again, you know, it's because the environment is already there, then it's not that difficult. At that time, it's a very big transformation. It's because of this is not traditionally Nestlé have. Traditionally, Nestlé have manufacturing, is very manufacturing, is low, this one, and then they want to move toward the lean enterprise. At that time, we internally don't have any capability in this one. So, okay, when we have this, we have two options. First, okay, develop this training from the outsider, all this one. Or we develop, or we engage them directly. So in the top level, they engage the consultant. I remember that at 6B, all this one. This is about this TBM, and then lean also, mainly from the Brazil. But in local, it's all the same. So in the local, we decided that, okay, we hire the expert, lean, and TPM. We hired, and in the same time, okay, they develop this. In the same time, we develop our local. This is to ensure the sustainability, and this is continue. It's running very well. It's also because of the top management is owner this. So this is the operational performance. Perhaps this is later. It is how the mode that we can apply in others. It's about the ownership. Now, after this is operation excellence, and then in 2004, I get my first opportunity to lead the factory. 2004. It's happened in Cikupa. Cikupa is confectionery business. A factory is acquired from Ronde McIntosh. At that time, you know, all this. And this assignment is becoming very special for me because of, first, the factory condition is very unhealthy. Stock, our inventory everywhere. Yet the customer service level is very low. Production program is never be effective. And all the complaint, also this top line is also low. At that time, there is kind of environment that the people thinking it's just about the time that the company, the factory will be closed at that time. The sentiment, because you know it's just year by months by months after how many management is also doing this is never successful. So at that time, you know, I was thinking, okay, let's do different thing. And then, okay, we decide to implement lean manufacturing at that time. The top management don't understand about the lean management, but they also don't know how to solve the problem in the factory. So at that time, because I was a senior at that time, already senior, then okay, the management, okay, Eko, do what I want you to do, but don't be blunder. Okay. And then, okay, I start implementing the lean manufacturing. This is number one, special. Number two, special, you know what? At that time, okay, not many people know about the lean manufacturing. 2004, 2004.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yes, not many people. Oh, lean, what lean? Okay, lean is launching, all this. Okay. You know, we start this is only because we want, we learn from a book. lean thinking is a Womack, and to the Toyota way. Actually, before that, I was trying to implement this to another factory, but I do not get any support from the top management there. Then it's a fail. So when this one, I have this, then okay, we implement this. So first we implement is we level the production, and then second, make it a one-piece flow by reducing this batch. So that's why it's a SMART is the internet. This is all we run ourselves without any sensei. It's just, we believe. Anyway, we don't have any option. Okay, if for the people, we get all the support because you don't have any option, right? Otherwise, okay. If we do not do differently, and then they
we'll
may
lose our job, maybe.
Correct. So this is very, I would say, very best experience for me in terms of this. It's not a big, but because this is really authentic, newly. And then after this, it's 2005, 4 years later, then we just know that the Nestlé go to the NCE, which is based on this one. Wow, okay, very, very satisfying, right? Okay, now I just 2 years there. And next, I get this also opportunity to lead Kaizen. Like Kaizen. This is the biggest one. There's a 3 plant there. But I'm very happy because people there is already engaged. So it should not be difficult. Okay, we just drive there. It's toward green factory concept. So more this one. It's just enrich. Then after that, I get the opportunity also to lead Wyeth Singapore. It's S26. So I just had the same principle about this. It's about the people. We get this as engagement, all this. And then, okay, implement all the TPM lean. And that's it. And it's successful, very successful. I remember one time that my boss is coming. It is the last visit, and then I say, we are in the. When we was at the hand before entering factory, and then there is a lady that is already passed. Go there, and then the lady is while walking is singing.
Oh, singing.
He's singing. I said, hey, my boss name Jim. Hey Jim, do you expect this happen? It's 2-3 years ago. No. Wow, this is wonderful. So meaning that the people engage this, and then the result, it's fantastic. It's we improve the OEE, so 50% plus, just in 2 years. Cost of production 12% down, just in 2 years. And consumer complaint, it's Singaporean, that it's a very quality, all this one. So complaint everywhere. The complaint is reduced by 80%.
80%? Wow.
80% in 2 years. It's just refocusing on the people. So that's why I believe in the people, process, and system. I'm not a tool guy. Then okay, after this I get retired, and then okay, I joined the Kellogg.
Okay.
Kellogg in Malaysia, Negeri Sembilan. I just applied the same. Result is fantastic.
Fantastic.
So when with this is, I believe, is when we talk about the continuous improvement culture, we talk about the people, we talk about the process, and we talk about the system. It's a putting a tool in this one is to me totally wrong. So that's just a brief on my experience, my journey in operational excellence.
Thank you. Wow, that's really a vast experience. Perhaps I think the audience will be interested to know, right? But over the 34 years where you started in operations, supply chain, and then embark on operational excellence, what do you see are the changes in the way operational excellence are being implemented? Like, what are the trends in operational excellence you observe?
I think it's just today, it's just more and more that operation excellence is very important. You know why? It's the competition is there.
Yeah.
You name it now. It's just the product or company cycle is very short now.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the company that can improve all the time organically.
Yeah.
They will stay.
Yeah.
You know what we have done today is not necessarily will be successful as today and tomorrow.
Correct.
So this change.
Yeah.
When we change this, how you manage the change? Tools,
Yeah.
equipment,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
These are people.
Yeah.
When your people is engaged, when your people is involved, you know, whatever the problem, they will find the solution.
Yeah.
They will discuss this.
Yeah.
Perhaps the solution is putting a tool or perhaps putting the equipment. Now, when we make this is what we call the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I say there's many you can take equipment, this, all this instrument, this tool, this, but at the end, who run it?
From your experience, where you mentioned there are at least many cases that you are successful, what are some of the key ingredients that companies who would like to do operational excellence need to do to make it successful?
Let me start with the top one. Yeah, it's just about the top management or owner. The owner commitment is very, very important. Without any commitment, forget it.
Okay.
Now the question is many top management is how you call this? Is I commit. I'll commit this in only talking. In briefing, in every workshop. This one, but they said sign the ledger, all this and okay, but after this, nothing. It's only that one.
Yeah.
This is not committed.
Yeah.
This is only okay, blah blah blah. So that's why it is very important. Now, question: how the top management, the owner, came to the commitment? Here I see that many top management is very often they have misconception. They see CI is just a bunch of the tool. That's totally wrong. CI is about the culture. It's about the building a culture. When we talk about the culture, the three: people, process, and system. Without this clear concept, forget it.
Okay.
So that's most of the cases. You name it, you have all this experience on this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
you can confirm this.
And in Kaizen Institute, our founder, Mr. Imai, used to say, the key thing to successful transformation, there are three things. Number one is top management commitment. Number two is top management commitment. Number three is top management commitment. So well said, Pa. I mean, the experience actually matches with the thing that you mentioned. And when you say about top management commitment, right? You mentioned about a lot of times it's not just about talking, but actions. What do you think will be some of the actions that the leadership can do to show commitment or to really gauge how committed they are?
Okay. The top management has to feel that they are the owner of this process. When you think about that you're owner, you will involve yourself in day-to-day. Go Gemba together, being active part of the team. So, first, you know that the team, what they are doing, and you can involve what is difficulties they find, and then it's designing also the solution together. Go Gemba together, and then spend a time to listen, to review the progress, and then discuss what the resolution together. So you are not how you call this hierarchy. You're part of the active team. You are the team. You are even the most important team that drive fueling all this progress. It's not because this already we have team. Okay, I give to you. Now delegation, delegate to the team, and then okay, I just asking for your responsibility. This not working. Now the worst one is the top management delegate this to the consultant. It's totally wrong. It never happened. And then okay, because of this, I pay you already. And then okay, what is the result? So very short thinking.
Yeah.
This is all. This is coming from misconception. So this has to be corrected right away before we even start the program.
Which to us is actually what we call ownership, right? Top management commitment by owning the problem that they have, and then owning this. That means taking ownership in driving the solutions. The consultant can be there to provide the solutions, help to set up, the fundamentals, the system, and all that. But ultimately, to carry the torch further to make sure it's successful, is their actions, their activities. And in Kaizen Institute, we call it leader standard work, right? So what is the standard work of the leader? And I recall when we were working together in implementing Kaizen in one of the organizations, there are only few leaders, right? But Eko is the one that will always be in the shop floor in the morning, checking the system, ensuring that the team are following up on the key critical matrices, and also listening to them on the challenges that they have. So you mentioned about the leadership role in the driving transformation, commitment, ownership, and perhaps from your experience, right? Have you seen in some of this transformation of an ideal leader that really role model what is required for the transformation? Can you describe some of these things that you observe?
Okay. First, I start with the company. I mean, when they talk about the company, is the top management or the owner. First, they must know what they want, actually. They must exactly know what they want. And then check if the internal have this capability. If not, then think about the consultant. So first, you know what exactly want. Number one. Number two is, of course, you looking for the consultant, right? And then you really understand what consultant will offer you, offer the company, right? And then the company show that, yes, okay, this is what I want. Or otherwise, no, this is not what I want.
Yes.
So very clear match between demand and the supply.
Okay. Yes.
Match.
Yes.
First they know and then match. Then third is own. The consultant is just to help to fulfill your gap. So the owner is you, is the company. When this is clear, then you can deploy to the whole organization. And then this is your program. This is your help for the consultant. You see that? That's your responsibility. You own this. As I own, you own, based on your level. By having this, and then the top management is to set up the team to review the progress. What is this? What is this? It's not a blaming the consultant. So this is the key, because otherwise, forget it. Because you can imagine if the consultant delegated to consultant, and then consultant, the factory, the unit, the company is not responsible for this. You can imagine how difficult it is.
All right.
So that's very important.
And from what you share, right, I can relate to that. A lot of times when we implement this type of transformation program, the leaders also say we own the result, but we don't own the process. So what exactly you are saying is, actually for this type of things to work, the leaders have to take ownership not just for the result, but the people, the processes, and also the problem-solving culture, right, of the team. Correct.
So it's just a thing that the top management is just a team, member of the team, the transformation team. If the team is facing difficulties, working together with their paradigm, their perspective bigger, that they can reach this one. If the success, remember, celebrate together. So this is what the theme is.
Okay.
When a problem, work together. Solution together. But when the success, celebrate together.
Okay.
Then the people feel the theme. Now, it is also very important that the top management provide that time available to talk with the people.
Wow.
Otherwise, you forget it. Oh yeah, pa, I have this. Oh sorry, I have meeting this. No. And then okay, come over later lah. When I have the time, we are one. One time, two time, people frustration. But you're not serious.
Yeah.
But when I have problem, you're not available. But when result is not expected, you're angry. Is this commitment? No, not commitment.
Yeah.
But I'm working for you. Correct?
Yeah.
So we should own together this.
Yes.
So this is the key. It's just very simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So ultimately, is when employee has a challenge, right? Is whether when they want to seek help, whether the help is there to support them, and whether they are there to actually guide and coach. So in the absence of that, after a while, I think the trust of the leader will be there to help them to solve will be eroded, and ultimately,
Even sometime, when we have a problem, the leader should, okay, bring me to Gemba. I want to see this. And then we discuss there. This is very simple, but they're very powerful.
Yeah.
That, okay, our boss is also is willing to hand the dirty, hand all this on to help us.
Yeah.
Then we own together.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So, one thing that you mentioned, right, which is a common thing that most leaders can relate is time. Right? A lot of leaders, they juggle multiple balls, if you are a business leader, operation leader, you juggle multiple balls. So, how do they, spare time to do this? What is your advice to them?
First, I think the top leaders should see what is really important in their business. If they come to think that the most important of their business is about the people, they will provide time for the people.
Yeah.
If not,
It
this one, and then we buy a tool, we buy this, because they don't trust the people. They don't think that the people is at the core enablers.
Yeah.
So this one.
Yeah.
Number two, of course, it's many things lah. Okay, but this is just about the prioritization, right?
Yeah.
We know that how you call this Eisenhower matrix, important, not important,
Correct.
critical, not this
Correct.
one. You can play with that.
All right.
But certainly, if the top management thinking that the basic all this enabling lays on the people, then they will provide time for the people.
Yeah. And I can, relate to that. I've worked in MNCs. I was young before. I worked in multiple countries, multiple companies. And one of the leader that I can really relate to, that I respected a lot, was one of the leader who really role model what he preached, right? So I remember when I was having some challenges, I go to him. No matter how busy he is, he will put his things down and then attend to it. And the other thing that I could remember about him is there was one instance where we have a budget constraint, right? But he say, we together as a team, we need to have a global meeting where everybody has to be there to share best practices. The regional P&L leader actually is not keen to provide the budget for me to travel. So he tried to negotiate, he couldn't get a budget. Ultimately, what he did was, from his own budget, he spent that budget to fly me to US to attend the meeting. And that was what I felt is true leadership, in the sense that he mean what he say, right? And exactly to your words is, when you say people are first, you mentioned a lot about mindset. It's really the paradigm, right? That my people is important, and you will drop everything just to attend to their need. And that's where you convince them to really work hard towards that vision. A lot of leaders, maybe perhaps to a certain aspect, they focus on the result. So when they don't get the result, they'll say, oh, this is not a result. But when the people need help, they are not attending to them.
So it's basically, any business, successful, what I believe is basically you make a people
Yeah.
and the people make a business.
Yes.
It's just about this high quality system, this one. But the first is about the people.
Yeah. And exactly this quote, right? We have a customer in Africa. He say, we grow our people grow flowers.
Correct.
And recently, we also touched on some companies who have created excellence customer culture. Hai Di Lao. It started as a small little, restaurant in China, but it has grown to like a capitalization of multi-billion, right? And the key thing to that is also they focus a lot on people, right? Helping the people to grow and build them so that they will be able to drive the business. So on that note, Pak, you have implemented a lot of CI program. And you also mentioned about initially you have to review the capability of the team and all this. So what happens if companies that has already CI program, but they are struggling to be like Toyota? What is your advice to them? What should they do? Like they have already CI, right? I mean, we have talked to a few, I've known few companies, they already have CI. They say we already have CI, so we can do it on our own. But then again, the result is not like Toyota. What do you think?
So, okay, first, I always come back with the top management commitment. Do you have a correct conception on the CI?
Yeah.
And if not, it's better you correct the concept.
Yeah.
CI is not a tools. It's a bunch of tools, short thinking, it's just result oriented. It's just, okay, how much a result? No. It's CI should be seen as a culture.
As a culture.
So this is concept. If you have a still problem, the top manager on this concept, better this correct first. Because this is the first step.
Yeah.
Otherwise a problem. Second, is when we have the correct conception, then you can think, okay, you see this, whether, okay, what is evaluate? If you cannot do the evaluation, you can ask a consultant to evaluate what has happened. Okay, if the happen on the tools, on the understanding, easy. On this one, system,
Yeah.
And then, okay, think, and then, okay, get the support if you cannot do this. But I would advise, get the support from the consultant. But first, before this, the company must correct the conception.
Yeah.
You know why I advise to engage consultant? Because the consultant, particularly for this, like Kaizen Institute, the Kaizen Institute that is operate globally in the very wide industry segment.
Yes.
So perhaps 1,000 or million of best practices.
Right.
All this collected from across the globe.
Yeah.
This can help.
All right.
But again, if the concept is still wrong, it's a waste of time.
Yes.
So that's why it's pretty simple actually. It's a start with what do you want?
What do you want?
How you see this? If this is wrong, it's wrong.
Yes.
It's just a waste of time, waste of money.
Yeah. And rightfully say, generally, like in most company where they have CI managers, I recall some of them share, right? It's, they know what needs to be done. Management need to change the conception, but they say, but Ferry, it's better that you tell our managers rather than we tell our managers, because it's very difficult for us to say because we report to the leaders. And sometimes people are afraid of the repercussion, right? But when you as a consultant, you tell our leaders, it is backed by many industry experience, and they will tend to listen in, right? Although the same thing is said, it's just said by different people, right? So in this type of cases, when you start a program, if they engage consultants and implement the changes, right? What are some of the advice that you have, right? How should the consultant and the internal CI team work together? How should they, what's the roles and responsibility? How should they work together so that, because some CI team members, they are afraid, right? Oh, if consultant is in, right, we might be seen as incapable, right? What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's just again, it's just come back from this misconception of the top management. Then the top management do not own the process, and then delegate. Delegate to the team. Worse is delegate to the consultant, right? When we have this problem, what kind of the support you'll expect, and then if the company culture, it's not really how you call it this. It's open trust. Trouble, huh? So in this case, what should best approach is first this is the unit head. Unit head has to be on this understanding, and then take the consultant as the help to how you call it this, to enrich the skill, enrich the knowledge, etc. So as a coach, so the implementer, the action is to be done by unit. This is at least if the top cannot give the support, at least the unit head.
Correct. Coach the coach.
Coach the coach. Because if the ownership of the top company is not there, at least the ownership of the unit is there. Yet, of course, I will not make a big impact to the organization because this, but at least in this unit, is the chance to be successful will be bigger, and this can be shared to the other unit. But it's not as easy if the top ownership is there.
So, we have worked quite closely, for 2 years in one of the projects. Perhaps I think some of the audience might be curious to know, right? So from your experience working closely with us, Kaizen Institute, in driving this type of improvement, what are some of the value that we bring in, to the CI team?
Let me share our experience in manufacturing, because that is what I closely see. So it's the obvious change that Kaizen is bring is the teamwork. How people is working as team. It's not individual working together, but there is a teamwork. Now, this is very important because at least it was the first 3 years I see this real. So and then the team, the team is the consultant, this Kaizen is working together. It's to develop this soft law. It's one of the important, the biggest change that I see is about the delegation. Delegation and review. Review KPIs or whatever this started. This is changed a lot of the behavior. First, every morning they talk together. It's about something is already there. It's agreed already there. And then what is the progress? What is yesterday? What is challenge? And then they talk. They freely talk about the problem. It's not scary. Talking problem. And then, this is everybody is counted on the ideas to show. And then it's also, what we can do better, etc. So this is different. Different change from working together, working individual, but in the same place, but the mind is different. Now the mind is same.
Right.
This is a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is continue.
Yes.
Of course, that's just what this Kaizen philosophy, right? Small step, little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the profound. And then I see this also that our colleagues from the other function like supply chain, sales is also having the same. But for the manufacturing, I've written myself.
Yeah.
So they definitely. Now, what is different? This one is. It's I like the method. Is the way the Kaizen is doing. First is also share about the knowledge, the skill. Okay, this is normally this one and this card, and then when they come together, it's the team. The Kaizen is asking the team, what do you think this, what this, and then from that it's formalized. That is very important.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because the people will own this. Oh yeah, I talked this, I said this, I said this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is drive all the change, all the change. And remember this also because the production manager is very supporting. I think he is the most involved person in the project.
Yeah.
So this is the result.
Yes.
So it's a greater to the unit improvement.
Yeah. And I recall when we implement in one of the team, the actually production, there was a lot of daily Kaizen implemented. And one of the things that was quite memorable to me was in a logistic team, where in the past, they have different metric of measurement. Different people have different interpretation of the measurement. But after the implementation, they start to realize that actually the matrix that they have is different. You'll be surprised a lot of time, although you stand in front of the same meeting looking at the same KPI, without those active practice, hand-holding, and really day-to-day basis reviewing it, you don't really understand very deeply, right? So perhaps, Pat, can you share a memorable moment, right, where collaborating with us helped unlock new solution or accelerate the progress in your transformation effort?
With the Kaizen Institute.
Yes.
It's many things that I see this is a great progress. One of things is when we develop a value stream mapping. Because it's all this function units there. We discuss there, we debate this.
Yes.
Yeah, and then of course sometimes I challenge a lot, all this. But that's it. This is how we want to make sure that the people understand. Yeah, that and one of that is when implemented in the manufacturing, is showing the result. Because this is waste. Oh, this you can improve this. We can improve this.
Right.
That's what happened. Even with that, I recall. I think one of the plan is able to increase the output by 50%, and then the losses by 40%. Yeah. But only that this is a plan is not yet becoming bottleneck with the company, but the improvement is there. And the most satisfying feeling that I had is to see that the people confidence is much higher. They are only pak, but there's nothing happened. But they can somehow they can do it. This is big.
Yes.
Just about the time. I should remember. I see that the CI's journey, right?
Yes.
So it is continued.
Yeah. And I remember that moment when we did the value stream mapping, right? A lot of teams are quite surprised about the end-to-end process because they have never seen it. And a lot of people only know this is their own process, and they might say, oh, this is my problem. But once they map the end-to-end process, they start to understand where the root cause is coming from. And subsequently, when we have projects to work with them to address the root cause, they start to learn the tools and the method to resolve the problem at their own level. And I could also remember you will always be there actively challenging it, right? Which is very important as a leader, right? Because ultimately, if the leader just, okay, present, you just take it as it is without challenging it, the solution that was developed might not be the best case solution. And if the leader also challenge it in a way that is showing care, that is another mechanism where relating to your initial sharing, leaders have to be committed and responsible. That challenge will also show to the team that they care about the result instead of, okay, it's just a program, you do it, yeah, okay, let's pass, instead of something like that. Yeah. So perhaps what will be your advice, right, to companies that, just now we mentioned about they have implemented, they want to relook at things, but for those that totally is new to this type of things, what should be their first step? Hire internal resource, get an expert to do it, or
No.
what?
I always believe the first important is the top management or the owners.
Okay, yeah.
The owners
Yeah.
is understand
Yeah.
what do you want. Perhaps it's not like a puzzle, but this is consultant, this can help to make the puzzle. But it's very important, that the top management do not have misconception
Okay.
that the CI is a bunch of tools, but the CI is a culture.
Okay.
When talk about culture, it's about the journey. When talk about the journey, it's talking about the people, process, and system. You correct this first. When we have this, next is easier. Because we don't understand this, and then they will take it for granted. Hey, I hire the Kaizen Institute, I pay so much, and then, okay, you work this, and then 2 months later, where's the result? Why still high? The cost of production, cost of logistics, cost of operation high? They don't understand. So this is first. And then when this is correct, then, okay, talk about, okay, what the option we can make on this one. When it's okay, call this, it's just called a blueprint. And then, okay, implement. But because of this, understand this, they will own this. When they own, they will make a progress.
Yes.
They responsible to own.
Right.
But before this is not clear, forget it.
Yeah.
Just wasting money, wasting time.
And how long do you think for a company that, start from zero, how long they will be, it will take for them to, reach that result like Toyota?
Yeah, not Toyota lah. Toyota is here lah. So, okay, it just depends. It's how serious is the owner. If we're serious, to my experience, you can have within 2 years. Because of first, when you understand this, I believe that the first, you have to strengthen the engagement. This engagement is very foundational. Now, for the multinational, this is a bit easy because the fundamental is there already, engagement there. But for the local, this will be the biggest challenge. Like for Singapore, right? Singapore is multinational, as it's there already. We changed this improvement, all this is only 3 years. The first is the engagement. When you get this, all this trust, and then the second year, you just fill in the tools. The tool is based on what they needed. When we talk about, for example, you talk about TPM. Because the owner already, this is the medicine that I need. If they don't understand, they will try to understand. But if the concept is wrong, They say, what is this? This is, okay, no, this is no use. I don't understand. When they understand, they don't understand, they think that this is not useful.
Yeah.
So this is different. So there's the conception has to be correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they correct, okay, this medicine is important to improve our operation of the company, right? So I get to understand.
Yeah.
Hence, I can help my team to fasten this.
Yeah.
So the drive to absorb as much as possible is coming from the company. It's not coming from the consultant. So, okay, if I'm there, I would like to make all the consultants sweating. No time to sleep. Because I want ask this one. Because this is important.
Yes.
Correct? So by having this is a depend, but it's normal. Say, okay, should be when the company is very serious. I think it's just 2 years should be okay lah.
Yeah. And the way I look at it is, unlike maybe other type of consultancy, like Kaizen consultancy is a bit like gym coach. I will not be able to help you to be fit
if you don't
want to run.
Correct.
I can only help you to be fit by working with you. You exercise, you eat properly with a healthy diet, and then you will slim down. But if you are looking for fast and quick wins to lose your weight, you should be looking at doctors when you do the liposuction. But the challenge is, after 3 months, your weight will gain back, right? Because you have not fundamentally changed.
Because you don't own it.
Yes. You don't own the process that has to be changed to get to your results.
Even in some cases, the the company should be full confidence enough that they can prove that the consultant target or this is too low.
Yeah.
So they're working this to okay, I can better than all this.
Yeah.
But this is the motive is you run it. You understand this and you run it because you own this.
Yeah.
Without that, forget it.
Yeah. And from your experience, maybe to tap on your experience also, how do we change the mindset of the leaders? If, for example, if today you go to a company, you join a new company, the mindset is not in favor of doing Kaizen, how can the team or the audience change or influence the leader's mindset?
This is a very tough question. So you can imagine,
Not in the script, huh? Yeah.
You can imagine how I can convince the owner of the company, hey boss, you're wrong. Change this. Wow. Normally what I will do is I will talk with the surrounding, the circle one, talking this. Even the circle one, not everybody is the same. I talk, then this. Because otherwise I cannot go directly. Unless I was one of the trusted by him or by her. Then otherwise I go to surrounding this.
Okay.
I really, if on this culture development, I will go first this to be correctly conception and commitment. Of course, in my unit, okay, I'll do myself because this, but that's there is limit, right, for this. But if a bigger, that's for this.
And
so that's why it's I don't want to be stereotyping, but it's normally the owner or the top management is trust external more than internal on this something new. So that's why it's many times I advise the consultant I give, this is what I see. This is perhaps you can have this. Because why I ask this, why I share this. Because when we have this one, our job will be easier.
Yes. And relating to what you share, from my personal experience, even before I joined, Kaizen, when we go to a new site, when we want to change the perception of the leadership team, we will try to organize so-called benchmark tour or insight tour, where the plant manager of the site will visit other plant, listen to their peer, right? Listen from the experience of their peer, what is the implementation like, so that they understand. Because a lot of time, site manager or site director, they might not, put a lot of emphasis to listen to their subordinate. I mean, that's the matter of fact. But they will listen more to their peer, right? Because, oh, this is my peer, they are doing this, I'm not doing it. And then they start to believe in it. So ultimately, my personal advice to the audience out there is really to create that moment for your leaders to have the time to visit other locations or other sites, see it for themselves, to feel the power of like a lean or Kaizen or people engagement, where people start to own it and embrace it. Yeah.
Agree. One thing is, I back my time, in Chikupa, about the lean.
Yeah.
Because there's only the book or this one. And then we arrange for all of my team, this is head of department, to go to see Toyota factories 2 times.
Yeah.
So in Cikarang, right?
Yeah.
And then another one in somewhere in Jakarta 2 times. And this is at the cost, we have a budget of training for the others, for me training, I cut it, I go to this, and this go to this. And also, also joining the training workshop about the lean manufacturing. Okay, this is good part, and then this is to enrich. Now for the top, to agree for them to go there is also a challenge. It's also a challenge, right?
Yes.
Because many of people, the top, right, they think that I'm good already. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
But certainly, if by benchmarking this on, then it should open up.
Yes.
But the problem is, they don't see this as a good thing, is to drive.
All right.
So when the company, the top management, wanting to grow really this one, is very passionate on this one, they will find all the way.
Yes.
But this is, again, I agree that the first is also go asking for the external consultant where they trust. Is a good start.
Yes.
Because otherwise, internal they don't trust.
Yeah. And building the trust, I think, takes time, right? So a lot of time, if you try to build the trust, but 1 year, 2 year, you are already wasting the golden opportunity to do CI. And with that, any final advice, Pak Eko, from your 34 years?
Okay. I just think it's about the mainly for the local company, it's just, where is the CI culture is not yet a major as the multinational. I think the CI culture is one of your competitive advantage in the future.
Yeah.
Now, be careful when you develop this. You will need some really, how you call this, people who understand this one. Now, after it's just 2 years, we work together, in one company. And also I read all this many things, the publishers and this is. I think one of the fully recommended, for the company who really serious. I put the bracket very serious to build the CI culture to be competitive. Kaizen Institute Singapore is one of the best option, I would say. You know why? It's very simple.
Thank you, Pak.
Kaizen Institute is operated globally, correct?
Yeah.
Operated globally. So when operated globally, So it's working with many
Yeah.
industries,
Yeah. Yeah.
many countries.
Yeah.
You can imagine that every country, every factory is one best practice.
Yeah.
How many thousands of best practice?
Yes.
Now, question for the company who seriously this one, calculate how long you will need to understand every best practice.
Yeah.
If you know already, right?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, you will never achieve.
Yes.
So that's why the faster, the best way, the how you call it, the most cost effective, if you bring
Yeah.
this huge resources
Correct.
to your company to help your company.
Yes.
But again, you have to
be
own this,
own.
right? So that's why I mentioned that only for the serious, very serious company
Yeah.
to develop their CI culture, world-class CI culture, that's the Kaizen Institute is one of the best options.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pak. So I think that's all in the interest of time that we have. So and for our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope today's discussion gave you valuable insights into the power of continuous improvement. Whether you are in operations, leadership, or just passionate about business excellence, there is always something to learn from the Kaizen mindset. Stay tuned for more engaging discussion from Kaizen Institute Singapore as we continue to explore how Kaizen philosophy can drive progress, innovation, every day, everywhere, everyone. Thank you.